You see, I had to get my guns out to survive this one. You know what I mean? Like, got Shane Eagle.
Yeah, we're out here.
The album is officially out, people. It's called Yellow. Got it for a listening session.
That was fire.
Nice.
Fire listening session.
Just tell the people, what can they expect from the listening session? What is it that you mentioned that they might not read about anyway?
Yeah, I just want everybody to just go listen to the album, man. Just get the album and listen to it. That's what you gotta do. And like take your time with it, you know. And then hit me back. Don't listen to it once and then send it to me. Just listen to it. It'll become part of your life. You know? So yeah, that's it.
Alright, there you have it. The album is called Yellow. It's officially out. We do a listening session. It takes us through each and every track. So if you click and subscribe, we're going up right now. Let's go.
Yep.
Yellow.
Shane Eagle listening session. The first single we played for you. Remember when it dropped it right here on the best drive. It's called Julia. That's his mama. 12 after 4. You know, in a South African context, we talk about being black.
Yeah.
You know, you considered black.
Yeah.
But you know, there's a term for it. In other parts of the world, I don't think you can say the term colored.
Yeah.
Would you say that you as a colored have the similar struggles as a black person? Because you do say that on this song.
Yeah. Well, I know what it's like, you know, from like both sides. So that's what I feel like is kind of happening.
For someone who's not familiar to your story, let's break that relation to how you understand the struggles of a black person and you being a colored.
I'll start off with with my pops. You know, I don't know if a lot of people know, but he's like this Irish man, like straight out of Dublin, and he came here about 35 years ago. He's like an old Irish man. So my whole life I've had like this old white Irish dad. Do you know what I mean? So that's that one side. And like he came down to South Africa and met my mom, and they were staying in Alex during the time because of my mom's dad. So that's like the side of like how I understood everything. Do you know what I mean? So it's like I would be with my dad and like see his side of the story, and like it's just like these like pale white people, bro. And I'm like, how am I even related to you guys?
So you also have like a daywalker story.
Yeah, in a sense, you know. I just think I'm like, it's like the story makes sense, but like the ending is different.
I'm gonna take you back to the song Julia, right? I'm listening to it again.
Yeah.
A part of me hears a bit of like Tupac influences. I don't know if we spoke about it the last time, but is that where it's coming from when you listened to kind of Tupac that almost sounds the same?
Yeah, I love Pac, first of all.
Is that where the inspiration sort of came from with this one?
I definitely think there's like a lot of inspiration from Tupac. You know, but not in terms of influence like the way I rap it, but just more of like what he stood for, and like I just felt like he was just like a real dude. Like in every situation, Pac would be himself.
But where are you getting this from? Because you know Pac is that generation, and you'd think that now your generation, because you're quite young, baby boy. Let's not even, you know, people would think that you'd find a different inspiration when it comes to music and rapping, which is not in that decade of rap.
But my inspiration isn't just from Pac. My inspiration comes from like different places. Sometimes it's not even musicians. Do you know what I mean? So I feel like this like generation, like anybody who's like in 2017 or from like the 90s, like this new wave, like the 18, 19, 20, 21 year olds, like these are like a new breed of like people. Do you know what I mean? They are like grew up on everything. This is like the technological era. It's like everything is so advanced, and like the kids are so advanced. That's why I'm 21 years old, but like my best friend's like 25, for instance, but we can hold like a decent conversation. If I go over to my friend's mom's house, she wants to have a conversation with me. I don't know what that means. Do you know what I mean?
You know what that means. Sometimes you can hold it down with the old folks.
No, guys,
Get yourself a young move, you know?
Not what he means.
So the inspiration comes from a lot of places, like, you know, I listen to Pac, then I listen to like, came up like, you know, and I'm like doing my thing when the people I look up to, like Cole and Kendrick and like all these guys are in their prime of like doing stuff. You know what I mean? So it's like a lot of different places, bro.
Okay.
Going back to the music, on this album, Yellow, producers, how did you go about sourcing producers that you're going to work with?
So like everything that came from this album was like all in-house at first, you know, so like majority, because if I wanted, like me wanting to create like one central and like connected sound, like I want everything to sound like it's all together and like a story from as soon as you press play to the part where it ends, it needs to have like that synergy between each record and like make it feel like it's one, because you know that's where a lot of people go around with like putting bodies of work together, you know. It just feels like a bunch of singles slapped on a CD. It doesn't feel like a story or like a journey. So I wanted to capture that by using like majority one producer, and his name is Shooter Coombs. He's like one of my closest homies too. So everything was in-house at that point. So, and then Tay Beats was also involved in the album. He did like, he's from Zimbabwe. I linked up with him, like he just sent me some stuff and I was like, this kid's crazy, and then we started working. But everybody who's like had a piece on the album has either been like my friend or like close person to me at the time. It's not like external. Like I don't know the person. He just sends me a beat and like there's no chemistry and I just put on the album. Then it's like, what's the point of that? You know, I want us to be like vibing in the studio and get to know each other first.
Alright, cool. Now I'm gonna play this one. It's called Live Flow. He's gonna tell us what he means. You wanna turn this one all the way up. You know, when we talk about bars, we talk about lyricism, we talk about metaphors, we talk about storyline, we talk punchlines. Turn it all the way. Let's go.
Just let it flow. This is your boy Shane Eagle. Make sure to catch me on the best drive with DJ Sabby and Tippy at 4 p.m. right here on Y. I'm playing the new album Yellow, so tune in.
Yo, we've played 2 singles already. Good afternoon to you if you just tuned in. So the last one we played, bro, you said your favorite rapper is a pop star. And we can't help but not ignore what AK said at some point, that he's not a rapper, he's not a, you know, don't theme him as he's a pop star.
Yeah, did he say that?
Yeah, he did. He tweeted that.
Oh, that's
you know,
crazy.
So because the tweet also came through, Eugenia says, please tell him dissing Keenan won't get him anywhere in the industry. Dope album though. Would you say that line was directed to Keenan?
Nah, it just depends how you look at it.
Because you never gave us an answer the last time where you said rappers, what, they're dropping gold bars, but the only thing they have is gold in their mouth.
That was on the remix. Where I was like, you say nothing but value, but you got gold in your mouth. Yeah, but a lot of people had gold in their mouth at that time, and I felt like everybody at that time was kind of like not saying anything with value.
Now, are they saying anything of value now?
I see a lot of guys aren't wearing gold in their mouths anymore. I have to notice that part.
So who is catfishing you? So who is catfishing you? Who's your favorite rapper that's a pop star that is now calling you?
I guess people need to look around and like hit me with it. Like I put the music out for people, so now they have to like kind of decide and see where it takes them.
So if we give you a couple of names, you'll say yes or no?
If they come here and talk about me, I don't want to talk about other guys. I hate rappers. Rappers are so annoying. I love like comedians and other people. Rappers are like, I don't like talking about rappers. They don't faze me.
Are you open to beef? At this point in your career right now?
Nah.
When we say open to beef, what do we mean, guys? Do we mean we're going to
all,
solicit it simply because it gets hype around the music and around the artist, or you generally don't vibe with this person because of you both just don't vibe?
Nah, I have no problem with like anybody, and I like to keep it that way because the energy you put out into the world and into the universe is the energy you'll get back. I never put out like a beef. That's so immature. Let's make music. You know, let's sell records. Let's change lives. Let's maybe change the world for a second. How about you stop talking about all the things that don't matter and look around? I'm saying I'm tired of this, man. I'm tired of like a lot of people who are like in a position. You know what I'm saying? You're in a position to change the world, and like, what do you choose to talk about? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how I feel.
How are you changing the world through your music?
I feel like, you know, when I started realizing, like going to shows and like actually listening to what people have to say to me, because I feel like a lot of people aren't present in that moment. When you have people coming up to you and saying like certain things, you know, you kind of realize what your responsibility is. You know what I'm saying? To kind of like keep that going. You know, people come up to you at a show, you know, you're just there for like 30 minutes, you in and out, you're going back to the next show and you carry on. But in that moment, someone walks up to you and says, yo, you're changing my life, or you saved my life. You know what I'm saying? When things like that happen, you kind of like sit and think and like, yo, I've got like a bigger responsibility to kind of like change everything around me and change like the situation around me, because that's the goal, man. I feel like music's the vehicle. Like music is it's not about music, it's about the message and like changing the world, bro.
So what's new about you now? You just turned 21. Would you honestly say that how you put together Yellow was driven by that mindset? Because you at a point now where we can officially say you're an adult. You know, did that influence the way you were pinning down the bars for this album?
Definitely, because it's like, even from like the first song that I wrote on the album versus the last song, like the growth on it, you know, the oldest song on the album is a song called Intro, and it's one of my favorites. I don't think we're playing that one though, but there's like a whole growth of journey, you know, throughout like the whole thing. So it's like, I would say I've written it when I've been like in my most aware sense of where I'm currently at.
Alright, cool. So on this album you don't have a lot of features. It's just Clyde that made the cut.
Yeah, Clyde's an amazing artist, bro.
We're gonna find out why Clyde, out of all the artists that you have access to.
I've been on the road now.
It's crazy.
Hey.
Yo, man. I just wanna ask Uchi Undwana, where do we get his CDs? Like, I need to get that before the weekend.
Yeah.
Alright, cool. So he's trying to figure out where can to get the music. Is it available everywhere?
Yeah. First of all, shout out to you, my G. You know, the ears is open, so keep following the music. And you can get like, we just did digital releases right now, so you can get it like anywhere online. So if you can go on like iTunes or Deezer or like Play Store, all of those places, bro. It's like, it's everywhere.
DJ Zayma says shout out to you for the realness of this album right now. She works here. But also, I found this very interesting that someone got this. This was on Twitter, right? Decent_Mpofu says, it sounds like a sad album and you sound like a sad soul, is what he's saying with what he's hearing. And this is what we get wrong when we listen to music usually. Every time we hear it mellow, we hear it slow, we think it's a sad song.
Yep.
Or we either think it's a love song or it's a breakup song. We never really listen to the content of the song, and we assume now, and as he's assuming now, that you're a sad soul or feels like you're a sad soul.
I think he just has to listen to it again. I'm so happy. Like, that album is actually about happiness in the end, you know, and finding it. So don't confuse like the tempo for like, just listen to it. I guess like, and like one listens are like not good, you know, especially if people like with a body of work, if it's like, you know, I think you should definitely take your time with it. Like months, you know, like maybe the album won't relate to you as much right now, but maybe you might go through something in your life or this little journey of yours, and then certain things will make sense.
And I guess that's how music works. I mean, when I was listening to Julia and I heard it again today, I heard a different meaning to it and I listened to it differently. So I suppose that's how we should be listening to music.
It's all about love, bro. Need Me is a song that I'm assuming that was dedicated to a person, or it's an idea of a relationship, right? Where you at right now in your life, what are your thoughts on love? How is important is love when it comes to rap and hip-hop?
First of all, like, love is from like what it seems like it is out here, from like all the homies and like all the friends. It seems like it's very difficult to find, you know, like true love, because I feel like in my life at this moment, like I've been in love for a very long time with a beautiful soul who's been with me on this journey, like from the beginning, since I was a little kid, since I was 13 in high school with the fresh curls.
So what, she's your first love?
Yeah, first love.
Damn.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you're still at it?
We're still at it, still happy, still like, I wouldn't waste my time, bro, you know? Like, it's this thing, this life thing, to me is about happiness. And if you're not happy, why would you even waste your time?
And you don't do the whole pretense of, when I'm on stage, I'm single, and when I'm home, I'm actually in a relationship.
I'm just me in every situation. I feel like what I've been seeing in this industry, and like me actually, you know, being a part of it, is just like, you just be yourself in every situation. If you're in love with your girl, you get to a show now, because people are watching, you mustn't be in love. Nah, that's not cool.
It's a gimmick, this industry, let me tell you.
Yo, man, we got him in the stew. I'm gonna play another one.
Ooh.
It's crazy because we're talking off air. I'm like, yo, like all the songs you gave us, man, they got this different feel, and another person would have given us, you know, records that would be pushing for summer. But you didn't go for that, you know what I mean? And that's super, super dope. This one, On My Own.
Yep. It's just me, man. Like,
does the tempo go up a little bit here?
Yeah, turn this one all the way up, man. This one's my favorite. One of my favorites.
No one's gonna say you rolled it wrong.
Yeah.
No one's gonna judge me.
Is it metaphoric or is it
It's kind of
literal?
like at a certain point how I like kind of feel in certain situations, like especially like I keep my circle close, so I'm like, if I'm not with the team, I'm like by myself, and it's not just like literal, it's like in this like journey of what might be to change the world.
Talking about being on your own, how do you handle female love?
Yeah.
Because you're a good-looking guy, you got a crazy, female following. How do you go about maneuvering through the lust and the temptation?
I feel like if you know where you're headed, and like I feel like, let me put it to you this way, right? In a quick, I don't know how much time I have, but like
go in.
I feel like this little life thing is like a little maze, right? And like the final destination's at the end, and like the situation that I'm in my relationship and like in my life where I'm trying to get to. If you go through this little maze, like these little distractions will like get thrown in from like different sides, and I see like these girls as like distractions, because if I like bite into that, I know that I might not get there. But if I hold on to this and I'm happy with this,
you're gonna get there.
I know I'm gonna get there.
Steph Curry.
You know what I'm saying? With the shot,
What?
boy.
Steph Curry with the shot. Because that's what Steph Curry said, and I love to say this. They asked him during an interview, they're like, yo, why did you get married so young? He says, when you find a perfect one, why wait so long?
Yeah, I feel you. That makes a lot of sense though. And she's like beautiful as hell, you know?
So would you ever rap about being...
Look at you, your face even lightens up.
So you'd never rap about cheating or being cheated on because it's an emotion you've never experienced?
Well, I rap, like I talk about the stuff that I go through. At this point, I haven't been cheated on. And I hope...
As he thinks about it!
I'm hoping it stays that way, yo. But nah, I got a real one, man, like, definitely.
Because when we started the interview, there's something that Tepi did throw out there, and I want us to touch on it. Because sometimes rappers rap about things they don't have.
Yeah.
Because
or don't go through, or don't know about, or... The list is like endless.
It's endless. Apparently it's content, but hey.
Or they have ghostwriters who also just are ghostwriting what... Welcome to it. It is a Shane Eager listening session. Yellow is officially out. Go copy it right now. When I say copy, I don't mean copy and paste. Go to the stores, buy it. Is a physical copy available as yet, Shane?
The physical.
Yeah, the physical
no,
copy.
they coming soon.
They dropping soon.
They dropping like just a little bit after. But the thing about it is that it's gonna be special. It's not just gonna be another hard copy of a CD.
Ooh, I feel like we're gonna get visuals with this one.
Yeah, maybe.
Really?
I'm not saying.
Because your visual's always sick.
Yeah, but you guys need to go check out a visual that just came out a little bit later after the album. It's called Let It Flow. Yeah.
Exclusive!
This is a Best Drive exclusive.
Nobody knows that. These bloggers are gonna sleep on that information until you tweet it.
Listen, so our station manager says, I must tell you that he wishes that more people, particularly rappers, were this earnest. And he also says that young people are sold so much BS and we need more authenticity in the industry. And you're one of those people who are bringing authenticity here. And he loves that. So big ups to you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
It's a big thing to say, and I totally agree with it, because we're living in an era where not all rappers are speaking what's in the heart. Everyone is dropping music for the sake of numbers, dropping music for the sake of commercial appeal, and you do say that on one of your tracks. You say, "I'm about." What you say something along those lines?
I say I have to balance these bars with being commercially viable. That line. Yeah, that one.
It's not even a thing though, because you're right, Sabby. And I hear a lot of rappers when they come here, they say, "I was trying to make a single for radio."
Yep.
And I hear people saying, no, this is not a single for radio. Remember JR was saying one of Jay's songs, Jay-Z's songs was not a radio a radio playable song. And I said, is there even such a thing? Isn't music? What do you make music for? For radio, for the people, or for just music?
Like, listen to the songs we had to play. Like, there was so much like censoring on it. I don't really get into the studio and say I'm gonna make music for the radio. I'm just making music. At this point, like, I'm making music for myself, you know, and like how I want it to sound.
I like
what I want to listen to. You know what I mean? And that's what I'm saying. It's like, that's why it's such a big deal and like a blessing that people rock with it. You know what I mean? Because as soon as you start making music for the people, it's like you're losing. You're not giving them what's you.
That's so true.
That's what you need to do.
And I feel like this music and this album is actually a journal. of your life.
Yeah, definitely. You should definitely just listen to this album, man. Like, it's been a journey on its own making it, and Yellow's out now. Just listen to it, you know. South Africa, you know, we're trying to take it to the world, you know, not just here.
I love the fact that you bring up the world, because the voice note I'm about to play for you, I honestly feel this is big. This is like, if I was you as a rapper, I'll be like, this is like a heavy load on my shoulders, but I accept it and I embrace it. Let's take it all the way to Namibia. There's a brother out there who's got an amazing voice note for the one and only Shane Eagle. This is how it goes.
Yo, what's up, YFM fam? This is DJ Chinchilla, all the way from Namibia. I'd just like to say, Shane Eagle, my man, I haven't had such a lyrical content, you know, to that core, something that great since Proverb last released manuscript, you know. So, I mean, I've been listening to a lot of cats, but I mean, you're something else, man. This is the hip hop that we've been missing. You know, the Pheromones, the Mobb Deep, and all these guys that we've been listening to as growing up, like real hip hop. Not really underground, but, you know, more conscious hip hop. You're doing it big, man. Thank you so much. I'll surely get the album shortly.
Yo, this is huge. At a time when more people are consistently feeling like hip hop is dead, where the real MCs at, to hear bars like this,
people are saying you're bringing it back.
We're not saying we don't want to hear bubblegum rap. It's good for the club. Sometimes we just want to get an erection when it comes to our minds. Shout out to the homie Cypher. I see he's also listening right now. This is called Empty Highways. 3 to go before top of the hour. Exciting time. Summer's around the corner. I remember when Jay dropped this album, Cole. You know, some people had a whole lot of things to say. The album went platinum.
Yeah.
For us to prove that this is the kind of music that you've been longing for, this kind of music that you've been waiting for, we can only prove with the numbers, with the sales.
Definitely.
Because that's what we're trying to do, make news.
It's not about that though, but I understand that side too. But like at this point, like, you know, I'm so like everybody who's been riding with me at this point, it's like I feel everything that's happening around me. Do you know what I mean? And I feel like how certain things are shifting, and like, you know, I'm very in touch with what's happening around me, and very in control and in charge. So we're coming, bro.
Head up.
You know why? After the song, let me take you back.
Yeah.
You said it's a very nostalgic album, and I fully agree with you now. When I was listening to the song, it actually really did take me back. I don't know if you're old enough. Remember when Channel O used to play on SABC 1?
Jeez.
What time did you used to wake up to go to school?
Woke up around like sometimes like.
But you weren't old enough, hey?
Nah, I probably wasn't old enough.
Sabby, were you old enough?
When Kamil was still the VJ.
I remember when Channel O used to play in the morning, in the wee hours of the morning, SABC 1, and we were getting dressed, and all you hear is it playing in the background while you're getting dressed, trying to go to school. It's dark outside, it's 5:30, transport your feet like a 6, and you'd hear these type of songs, and your memories don't live like people do. That's what the song reminded me of, and it took me back.
When Eddie was still in the morning. Long time ago.
I literally...
Those are those
I had a moment.
When people are listening to the album, like, take your time with it, man. I put so much effort and a lot of time into it, so don't just listen to it and give your opinion. I see a lot of people just listen to it and give their opinion. Listen to it. Like, don't hear it, listen to it, you know?
You know, you consistently mention this whole thing about life being here and gone tomorrow.
Yeah.
With the music that we have right now from Shane Eagle, how would you like to be remembered as a rapper and as a person who gave out music to the world?
I think it's all about legacy. You know, it is all about legacy and not what's happening right now. So in the music, you know, it's one of the things, if we go back to like kind of little morals that I live by, when Pac said that he might not change the world, but he'll spark the mind that might change the world. It's kind of in that same direction. So it's like, even if I don't change the world, I definitely know that, you know, the messages and the little hymns and subliminals and things I put together for my fans to hear is there. And, you know, we're gonna change the world, bro.
That's what's up. GP, South Africa, world. His name is Shane Eagle. The album is called Yellow.
Yeah.
We brought it to you first. You heard the joints. Now it's the time to support him. Because it's not easy making the music. It's not cheap to make the music. I know he's consistently saying that it's not about the money. But yo, we need to get some Guala Abe to keep making the music.
Yeah, we straight for now. We like 21 and like we you know, we don't talk about the money, but like we cool. We gon' you know, we just built our first Eagle Entertainment office.
Nice.
You know, so we good.
Where can people follow you? Let's get those details out.
Everywhere, Instagram, like social media is Shane Eagle, Shane_Eagle, and yeah.
Right.
And I just want to say, like, I'm just like humbled by everything that's happening around me, and shout out to everybody who's riding with me and supporting with me, man. It's a blessing.
There you have it, GP. His name is Shane Eagle. The album is called Yellow.
You are now rocking with the best.
DJ Sabby.
And this right here, the best drive. YFM, 3 to 6 weekdays.
DJ Sabby on the best drive. One.